This video will review how to add and subtract positive and negative numbers. Remember that if you're adding a negative 8 to a positive 4, you're just going to start on a number line, F4, and you're going to add negative 8, which means go to the left 8 spaces. So if I went to the left 4, that gets me to 0, and I need to go 4 more, so I end up at negative 4. 4 plus negative 8 is negative 4. You can also think about it like an elevator, where let's say you start on the 4th floor of a building, and you want to go down 8 floors. That means you go all the way to the ground floor, and you have to go 4 more levels underground. So you're at negative 4. So either method of thinking is great. It's basically the number line either way. If I were instead subtracting 2 from a negative 4, that just means you're starting at negative 4 and you're subtracting 2 from that. So I go to the left 2 units and I end up at negative 6. So negative 4 minus 2 gives me negative 6. The one tricky rule to remember when you're adding and subtracting negative numbers is when you subtract a negative. So here I am, 4 minus a negative 8. Whenever that happens, you just have to remember that the two negatives becomes a positive. So in other words, when I subtract a negative, I'm just adding a positive number. So what I like to do is I like to rewrite the problem. So 4 minus negative 8 can be rewritten as 4 plus 8. And now that looks a lot nicer because 4 plus 8 is just 12. So if we go with that method, if we had, for example, negative 2 minus negative 30, that looks like that looks a little confusing. It's got a lot of negatives involved. So I'm going to rewrite it. So negative 2, instead of writing a minus negative, I'm going to just say plus 30. Negative 2 plus 30, it gives me positive 28, because if I think about it, I start at negative 2 and I add on positive 30. So if I count on the number line, I end up at positive 28. And that's it.